So it didn't take us long to start modifying things, as I'm sure everybody else associate with. Just picked this 194 BHS up by Coachmen, about a week ago to be exactly. And one of the first things we did, which is moved the, I guess from the factory, the quick disconnect was sitting up there. And I thought that's not really particularly a good place because the stove is back here. So I just spun it 180 degrees and it is now located right behind the tire, as you can see. It's kind of neat. Then the other thing I did is the stove that was out here is kind of ridiculous. So made this little guy fit. It is a Camp Chef Ranger that has really good flame protection, high BTU, and then it's up to you, whatever you feel like, to get it to fit in here. It is tight. You have to chop. This really gets funny. You have to cut about an inch off the legs, which is done with a hacksaw, if you feel such. And it's cast iron, so it cuts very easy. And then it just fits, as you can see. Still need to strap it down here, but it's not, I mean, it ain't going anywhere. And then the other thing you have to do, which is a little bit more encompassing, you have to cut the propane feed hose and then resolder it, unless you want to jiggy with some fittings. But me, I don't always necessarily take the easiest way out. If I can get this thing to focus, you can see I made a little notch on the side panel, and then I bent the pipe right here back so it was straight, soldered the nipple back in. So essentially I necked down that pipe. I think this particular pipe here, I necked that or cut it short about 2.5 inches, so it's now straight. Put a steel braided propane hose on it, which is really nice. And again, it will be bolted down, and then steel braided hose, well, you can pretty much feed it however you want. To the quick disconnect, and now you're rocking. So you get a real stove for all the splatter and stuff if you don't want to cook inside. Now if you want the grill, that's obviously fine too. What we plan on usually doing is we have some form of a grill box that we put on top of this. We also have a Coleman oven that we put on top of this, and works phenomenal. Baked in it before, so this stove is a little bit more expensive than the average stove, but one of the benefits you get from it is heat retention and the flame protection. You can see that it's all protected, and there is holes on the bottom, so it sucks up air, and the whole top is cast iron. Weighs 23 pounds, but did a little bit of, you can see factory didn't do particularly a good job on singeing these studs, or whatever you want to call them, down. So just fix that with a couple of screws, and it is now substantially more resistant to wobbling and whatnot. This fridge here will go shortly. We were told it was a 12 volts. Turns out that it's a 115, so it has really no value for us when we're boondogging. So we'll have a some form of a 12 volt fridge in it as soon as possible. So the other thing we did is, or I did, is this is not a bad controller that it came with. It's just not an MPPT, which does utilize a little bit better algorithms when it comes to charging your battery when you're not in full sun. So I've used these other units by the same company, Victron, for a very long time, and what is really unique here is this thing here kind of turns your battery into a battery monitoring system, not just from a solar perspective, but also you can get load in on your phone or your tablet. It'll show you your battery voltage and wattage in, wattage out, and really gives you a state of your battery. Now, why is that important? Well, when you go into the bathroom and you push the battery, it shows you a bunch of LEDs that says, yeah, it's either good or bad. But it doesn't really tell you how good or how bad. There's 4 diodes in there, empty, a third, 2/3, and full, I think it is. And this one will actually tell you the voltage. It have a voltmeter on your phone. It's a little pricey, $120 almost, but it's a really, really good. I've used the 75 10 amps for a long time. I bought the 15 this time because my plan is to eventually put a Anderson plug in here for a mobile 100-watt solar power as well. So anyway, it's gone quick, and many more things to come, but that is the first one. Talk to you soon.